Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how to stay clear of negativity. This is something which somebody actually requested me to do a video on this, and it's also something which I feel very strongly about. So I thought this was the perfect time to do a little video about this topic. So I think that in this day and age, staying away from negativity can actually seem like a little bit of a challenging task. All that we see everywhere, a lot of it, in the media, in the news, online, social media, a lot of it is just negative information. The news, for example, it focuses on the negative information. Rarely do we see or hear amazing good news. You have to really search for something specifically to find something positive. And even then, there will be, even if you find a positive article about something, or a bit of information that's like, oh, that sounds good, you will always see a comment or somebody below like making an argument out of it, wanting to be negative. You even do it on social media. You write a Facebook status, nobody's allowed to have an opinion without somebody piping up and challenging what you're saying. That's just how people are, unfortunately. Like, everyone is entitled to opinions, but you cannot seem to have an opinion without somebody telling you you're wrong. That's just kind of how it goes. And being aware of that, I actually think is the first step, recognizing that this is just kind of how it is, and that's what you get on social media, that's what you get on the news, that's what you get online. Knowing that and recognizing that is the first step in actually getting away from it. Okay, so sometimes that's kind of one aspect of it, but sometimes it's not the news, it's not the media, it's not online. Sometimes, and quite often, it can come from the people who we are actually closest to. It could be your husband or your wife, it could be your parents, it could be your best friend, it could be your children, it could be your work colleagues. And sometimes it's those situations where it actually seems, impossible to kind of get away from. And this is where I think you really have to get to work and look out for yourself. Okay, staying away from negativity, protecting your energy, that isn't selfish at all. And I think often we think, if we put ourselves first, we're being selfish, but that just isn't the case. That is not the case at all. It would be like saying, I'm not going to put myself first, because if I do that, that's selfish. But if I put them first, they're not being selfish. They can come first. Like, if that was the case, wouldn't that make that person selfish if you're putting them first? Like, neither of them are being selfish. You're not being selfish. They're not being selfish. You can put yourself first and you can protect your energy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And this is something which I've learned to really kind of get a hold of over these last couple of years. So I'm going to give you my top tips on, how to stay away from negativity as much as possible. These are all things which I do personally to protect myself. If you're somebody who feels like negativity is around you a little too often, then, if maybe it's somebody that you live with, especially if it's your family, then, just try and incorporate these things into your life, and, it will make a big difference. And there's really basic things which you need to do. Okay, this isn't anything like, oh my God, I need to study this and do this, like really basic things. So first of all, I was going to say, don't watch the news. I don't watch the news personally. But if you have to watch the news, limit your time to watching the news. For example, if there's something drastic going on in the world, which actually the day that I'm filming this video, there's a very big thing going on in the world right now. If there's something going on, by all means, check in. If you want to check in once a day, if there's a big announcement being made by the Prime Minister, check in to watch that, 100%, of course. But you do not need to have the news on all day, every day. First of all, you're feeding yourself with negative information all day, every day. You don't want to be doing that. Second of all, you're not going to hear new information unless there's breaking news, which you will hear about later on in the day when you choose to tune in anyway. You do not have to have it on all day, every day. And if something big is happening, you will hear about it. It will either come from a WhatsApp group, somebody messaging you individually, you logging onto social media, having a conversation with somebody, it will come up. That's just how it works. It will come up. You're not going to miss out. So that's my first thing. Limit your time to watching the news if you have to watch it. And, you know, this isn't something which I've just randomly come up with. You know, many of the most successful people in the world, many of the happiest people, most developed people, they don't watch the news. Like, this is where this comes from, because it genuinely gets into your head. Negativity gets into your head. It has a negative effect on your outlook on life. It has a negative effect on how you communicate with other people, because in your subconscious you're entering negative. It's a very hard word to say all the time. Negative information all the time. And yeah, it's just not necessary. And especially if you do have to watch the news, then do not watch it as soon as you wake up, please. That is like my one ask of you, especially if you are watching this because you want to stay away from negativity. The first thing you see in the morning should not be the news, okay? It shouldn't be your social media either. It shouldn't be your mobile phone at all. This is something which I am actually still working on, and I have some days where I'm really good at it and some days where I'm just not good at it at all, and I just ignore everything that I say. But if you can, when you wake up in the morning, for the first hour, no matter what your morning routine is, like I have a very specific routine that I do every morning. If you can get that routine done without looking at your phone, obviously, like if your alarm goes off, fantastic, look at your phone, turn your alarm off, but you don't go on social media, you don't open your WhatsApp, you don't open your emails. If you can do all of that in the morning, first thing, and just get those positive things done first thing in the morning, avoid the news, then your day will run so much more positively and in a just much more effective and happier way, because you haven't fed yourself with that negativity. You know, maybe make your time that you watch the news 5 o'clock news every day, boom, done. Okay, that's my first tip. And my next tip, now this is more to do with the people that are close to you, because this is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets hard, especially if you're living with people. So the first thing that I would suggest is noticing when you start to feel an energy shift, okay? You as a human being will feel your mood shift. It will happen instantly. So if you are spending a certain amount of time with somebody, if you're having a conversation with somebody and, you know, you're in this high energy, you're trying to be positive, you're trying to look after yourself, and you feel whatever it is that they're saying, sometimes they don't even need to say anything. I'm a very empathic person. Like, I pick up on people's energy instantly. Like, I will walk into somebody's house, and if they've had an argument, if they've been upset, if they've, you know, if they're really happy, whatever it is, they don't even have to say a word. I will know. I just pick up that vibe. I'm very big on energy, and you might be the same. So the minute you feel yourself, you know, if they're being really negative and, you know, saying whatever they're saying, by all means, listen to them. You are their friend, you are their family member, whoever it is, you be there for them. That's not what this is about. It's not saying do not be there for people, do not talk to people, don't let people talk to you. That's not what this is about, but you can limit the amount that this happens, okay? So the minute you feel yourself starting to feel a little bit, oh my gosh, I feel a little bit drained, I feel like this is bringing me down a little bit, I feel like this is dragging me down, just, you can kindly end the conversation. So, you know, if you've been on the phone to somebody for half an hour, for an hour, and they, you know, you're letting them express themselves to you and you're being a friend to them or a partner or whoever it is, and, you know, when you're starting to feel that way, you can just say, oh my goodness, like, I'm so sorry, I have to go. But let's catch up later or tomorrow. I'll check in and see how you're doing. That's all you need to say. And then conversation ended. Check in with that person later, see how they are, see if they're okay. And, you know, that's all you have to do. If it is somebody who you are living with, and this happens all of the time, what I would suggest doing is find times in the day where maybe this tends to happen more regularly. So maybe, you know, it's first thing in the morning when you wake up and they start moaning about something or they're negative about something. Maybe it's when they get in from work. Maybe it's during their lunch break and they call you. Like, whatever the situation may be, find some time in the day which you can take out just for yourself. So, you know, whether that's an hour to take a bath, whether that's an hour to read a book, or maybe if you're more spiritual, if you want to do some meditation, or, you know, do a bit of reading, listen to an audio, watch your favorite YouTube podcast, like whatever, but just take that time out for yourself, because knowing that you have that time out for you will give you that to look forward to. And it will just make it easier for you to deal with that situation at that time when that person is being negative, because you'll be like, it's fine, like, I'm going to listen to them, you know, if they're being negative, that's fine. I know that in an hour's time, I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to bring my vibe back up. Okay. That is an absolutely, I just think that's a good thing to do anyway. Even if you're not surrounded by negativity, you should have that time for yourself anyway. Also, this is like, I don't know how to kind of explain this properly, but you can listen to somebody without actually listening, to like taking it into your brain. Like, you can get yourself into a mode where you're there and you're listening to them, and you're, you know, by all means, you're taking in what they're saying, you know, if it's something serious or whatever. But if it is literally somebody who just moans about everything, like we all know they exist, you've got your negative Nancys, negative Nigels, you could say, oh my goodness, what a beautiful day it is today. And they will go, it's forecast to rain at 5 p.m. Or you could say, oh my God, you look so nice. I love your top. Where did you get it from? And they'll say, oh, I got it from Topshop. It was £35. And then I found out that you could get it in a sale a week later for £8. I mean, oh, what a joke. Like, there are those people out there who just moan about everything, and it's so boring. Nobody wants to listen to it, but that is unfortunately just how they are. There is nothing we can do about it. They can change. They don't have to be those negative people all the time, but that's if they choose to change. And unfortunately, you are not that person who can decide whether they change or not. That will be a journey that they need to go on themselves at some point, if that is going to ever happen. So if that's the case, just zone out. Zone out. I've done this many a time. You know, if there's more than one of you in the room as well, say there's a few of you in the room and you're all having a little chit chat, and negative Nancy over there in the corner is moaning about the weather or whatever it is, then, you know, just zone out. Let the other two have the conversation. Pick up your phone. Oh, sorry guys, I've got to do this call really urgently, really sorry, 1 second. And then you walk out the room. Like, you can make it work. Like, don't think about it too much. Just protect yourself. And there is nothing wrong with protecting yourself. This is the biggest point that I want to make on this, because I've had loads of people, friends, family, loads of people who I speak to, business colleagues, and this is an issue for so many people. This is a huge, huge issue. And very quickly, your energy can be affected unless you take care of this issue. And it's not fair on you, especially if you're somebody who has worked hard on bettering themselves, on developing themselves, on changing your outlook on life, making yourself feel better, looking at things in a different way so you can help other people. It's not fair on you to then get trapped into this little energy field of negativity when you haven't chosen to do that. So don't feel guilty for removing yourself from that situation, and just find a reason to do it. Find a reason to do it. Like I said, someone's called you. Maybe you've got to do an email. Maybe you've got to check on this. Maybe you need to cook the dinner. Maybe you need to do a workout. Like, whatever it is, just remove yourself from the situation. And I promise you, the minute you do that, you will just feel better. And also, what's so important is to have something that you can do that will raise your energy, raise your vibration. So that could be listening to your favorite song and dancing around like a nutter. That could be taking your dog for a walk, being with nature. That makes so many people feel better. It could be exercising. That for me is like huge thing. You release all the endorphins, you feel amazing. It could be cooking if you enjoy it. It could be watching your favorite film. It could be doing a FaceTime with your nieces and your nephews, like whatever, something which you know is going to make you happy, make you laugh, and just instantly raise your vibration. Like I'm a very positive person, 100%, but we all are human beings and we all have down days. I'm actually laughing about it now, what I'm thinking about. I have a few videos on my phone which just make me howl with laughter because they are just so funny. These are videos of like me and my friends on nights out, of my nieces being mental, like doing weird things, family videos from Christmases where we've all had a few drinks and we're laughing. Like, I have videos on my phone saved, which if I'm feeling a bit crap, I just have a look at these videos and within like 5 seconds, I'm hysterically laughing. And that instantly brings up your vibration. So it's really important to have these kind of things, which you can access immediately, that are going to make you feel better, make you laugh, and just have a good time, basically. So that is all. Hopefully you find this video useful. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please drop them down below. If you have any, if you have any tips on what you do to get out of these negative situations, how you make yourself feel better, how you avoid people that you're close to, would love to hear from you. Just drop the comment below. If you've liked this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share it if you found it useful. And I will be back very soon with my next video. Have a great day and take care of yourselves.